What's up folks, I am Sol and welcome back to the channel. It has been a while, I will say no more about that, but welcome to the Lord of the Rings Realms in Exile, a total conversion mod for Crusader Kings 3. Some of you may remember that I have featured this mod on the channel in the past, well over a year or two ago now, where I streamed a couple of multiplayer matches with some of my friends. This is going to be a single player series. It will be as short or as long as I decide to achieve the goals I have set. The mod has very recently updated to version 4.1. I think it's 4.1 something or other now, and I work on the team, so I spend most of my time on the dev build, but this is the public build because I didn't want to step on any toes, shall we say. The mod itself updated yesterday at the time of recording to include some new content and a bunch of bug fixes, as well as the com patch for the latest version of Crusader Kings, which is the Crowns update. And this is the full scale of the mod, stretching all the way from the Lossoth tribes in the north to the utter south of Tani Hazard and Magan Tumak. But we are going to be playing right here, the Ar-Adunayim, a nod to Divide and Conquer. These guys are fanatical believers in Arphazêl as a god king. They are delusional, frankly. However, one of the very talented developers of the mod, E01, has created a very fun event chain. Technically two, but we are going to be focusing on the one that does away with all of this nonsense about God King Pharazôn, Aganalumaba Aru, which I have almost certainly butchered the pronunciation of, and we're going to play as the Breakaways. The other route, which I may address at a later date, is where you can sail away from your tiny islands here and settle in Tharbad, but all is not quite as it seems with that journey, and you may get blown off course. So, here we have the Ar-Adunayim. We will not be staying as the Ar-Adunayim for very long, but while we are them, I'm going to make sure they have a decent start. Now these guys are, as you can probably tell, slightly unpleasant in that they are taking the Habsburg approach to marriage, by which I mean they're all marrying each other. Yeah, it's disgusting, but it is what it is. I have to play as them briefly to get to the fun person I want to play as. Now, many of you will already know who I'm talking about if you are at all involved with the mod. It is Arphazêl, the sorceress daughter of Argimilcard. This is who we will be playing as properly very soon into the game. But yeah, I gave them the Blood Dynasty Legacy because for a Habsburg reenactor, it is quite accurate, I think, that they would be ones boosting congenital traits. So let's just hold court quickly at the start of the game. Maps are overrated. Ooh! Oh no, that would be nice for them to do. They would absolutely lose that war, though. Ooh. I cannot help you now. By Aganam blah 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 there. Tani, who are trying to harm mother. I will question Avradi. Denies any involvement, unsurprising. Okay, so let's unpause and see where this game goes. The Exiles of Ar-Adunayim. On a lonely archipelago in the Belagair dwell the self-proclaimed Ar-Adunayim. Visitors may find two different experiences here. Those who bear the blood of Numenor find a welcoming group which carries itself with dignity and honour. Those that do not, however, find themselves abused and spat upon, detested and treated like nothing more than feral dogs. Such is the nature of this exiled group of blood purists cast out from the haven of Umbar for their radical views. Rising shortly after the arrival of Castamir the Usurper, for years the blood purists were merely another faction within Umbar. In fact, they still held some sway in the city even after their departure. But the Ar-Adonai began to agitate for a great cleansing of the havens, which would bring about a restoration of the Numenorian purity and be the herald of a glorious reclamation of their long-lost empire. Pragmatists in Umbar ultimately were forced to act when a rally transformed into a lynch mob that resulted in a fire, devastating a large section of the port. Since then, the Ar-Adonai have stewed on their rocks in the sea, awaiting the beginning of their great crusade. Their leader, Gimilcard, claims to have spoken with his august ancestor Arphazêl. If they keep the faith and offer sacrifices in his name, then the Aganalumaba Aru shall bring forth the great armament of old, and the armies of Anadun shall once more roll over the land. Spoiler alert. That definitely isn't happening. However, we shall leave these fools on their rocks. No, you don't get to go to the nice Numenorian city of Tharbad, but rumours of lost glory. Since our exile from Umbar at the hands of the so-called pragmatists, we of the Ar-Adonai have heard many rumours from the mainland. The Corsair lords mutter about the unfortunate fire in the Great Haven itself, fuming ever more loudly about our continued freedom on these barren islands. While it has been our goal to build a city here, a new Arminaleth in Middle-earth, there are more places in the world where the Numenorian Empire once held sway, and many of these have fallen into disrepair. One such stronghold, the great city of Tharbad, screams out for a strong hand. A Numenorian hand. Shall we leave these islands and the judgment of lesser men behind us and brave the wrath of the sea to claim dominion over the ruins of a new land? Shall we bring the might of the Adonai to once more to the desolate wilderness of Eriador? I think that's how you're meant to say it. I know I got it wrong so many times when I was working on Conflicts of Eriador. But do let me know. Is it Eriador? Is it Eriador? Who knows? Well, somebody presumably. It's iron rule, but to what backwards peasants we find there. Begin preparations at once. This takes you down the sailing for Tharbad path. I will not resign myself to a ruin. No, 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 no. However, a ruin is very likely what you are going to get, Gimilcard. But said ruin will be your own, not that of your land. As tenuous as your grasp upon it may be. Inspired work. Who's Imrazor? Oh, my brother, and also brother-in-law. This is lovely. You must continue to write more. Yes, yes, yes. I'm certain that Gimilcard will never ever be able to fund said masterpiece. But oh well. Yeah, these guys are nothing much, but that's okay. Much more interesting times await us very soon. I'm not actually sure when the event fires. Ah, no, that's not the one. Yeah, Steward, that'd be good. Might get them a few extra pennies. For those of you who haven't played this mod for a while, these guys used to be Melkorists. That has been changed. They are now morons. Delusional fools. Oh, are we being raided? No, good. Okay, when does this event fire? I always go through this usually a little bit faster on a higher speed. Oh, just taking a look at this. I have done a fair amount of work on fleshing out the... Oh, here we go. On fleshing out some certain regions of the map. Not necessarily as the main characters, but if you see a lot of unlanded noble families around, those in Arnor and in Tani Hazard, some of those are mine. I'm quite happy with what I did. I will continue to do much more. I love working on the mod. The team is amazing. But anyway, Arphazêl's flight. It is late on a particularly cold evening as my guard captain throws open the doors of my chamber, startling me awake. As I regain my composure, the man reports, "My lord, a fire has been set to the lower levels of the palace, and the culprit has made her escape." It doesn't take him long to spit out it doesn't take long for him to spit out the traitor's name. It is one of my own blood. The young sorceress Arphazêl has seen fit to aflame one of the storage rooms to mask her flight from the palace. How dare she? Ever since her talent for the dark arts was discovered, we have sheltered her, kept her safe behind the walls of our own stronghold. And this is how she repays us? With flames and treachery. And you can continue as Gimmelcard and just let her go. You can go after her and try to capture her, which is highly unlikely to succeed. Or you can switch to play as Princess Arphazêl, which I shall do. And there we are. Southron Harbingers, I don't think that's a very good name. Let's choose. Now Arphazêl is... where's the thing? Arphazêl is a very, very good scholar, but also a steward. She has good intrigue, brilliant diplomacy. Martial is the only area and prowess where she is lacking. I am going to take her down a stewardship route, I think. I will remain as a wanderer camp for now. Now, it does go without saying that this route is only accessible if you own the Roads to Power DLC, because you cannot play as a landless character without that. Ooh, Dark Ritual. Yeah, I'm not going to do any sorcery. Ah, here we go. My freedom won. I watch the sun rise over the coast, breathing in the salty sea breezes. Finally, I am free. Finally, I am master of my own fate. Ever since I was born, I was kept under close watch by those who called themselves my family, my cruel father and brothers, and that lecherous priest Varkan. Not once was I permitted to leave the confines of Exile, doomed to a pitiful existence within a gilded cage, rotting away with my mother and my sweet sisters, my only kinsmen that I will miss. But they taught me the use of their dark arts, for which I showed great talent, and those powers have now burned away my chains. I turn away from the ocean and look towards the small camp I have set up. This will be the beginning of my new life, a life lived for myself and not for others. Now, I think that this should probably remove Varkan as a friend, considering the connotations of this bit here. You probably shouldn't be friends with Varkan. No. Right, what are the options? I will leave the shadows behind forever, where you lose the sorcerer trait and become a wise woman instead. Unconventional, just a very wise person, and convert to an Elendili faith, the Covenant of Ulmo. And also, you gain a bunch of money because you're now landless. I will follow the ways of my ancestors, where you gain the Sailor trait, that is good, and convert to the Azriamanoi Creed. I'm pretty sure I did not get that right, which is the Corsair faith of Umbar and Niharad. Or the darkness shall guide me, where you stay true to your Aganalumaba Aru heritage. Nope, we're going to go with the Covenant of Ulmo. There's nothing I like more than a redemption arc, and boy is this a redemption arc. The path ahead. Finding myself wandering the streets of Abarloni, my thoughts turn to the future. I've put enough of a distance between my family and myself to be sure that they either gave up the pursuit or lost my trail. I could start anew from here, and yet, part of me wishes to go back once I've gathered enough strength, and tear down any semblance of power that my father Gimmelcard still bears. To see him humbled before me as I take his place on the throne would work wonders to heal some of the wounds I've suffered on that blasted island. Abarloni is a city of many opportunities. Do I spend some of the coin I brought with me to hire able fighters, or do I find it within me to finally let go? I will see my father laid low, where you lose 15 gold to recruit a size 2 regiment of Abrazanim Nardubawib, which, by the way, is an absolutely insanely good deal, because that would normally cost you about 200 gold, or more accurately, 188. Yeah, 188 gold. Or Vengeance is Folly, where you gain some experience, not a lot, and lose 13 stress. We have no stress at the moment, and we have a lot of money. I'm going to take the Abrazanim Nardubawib. The Dawn Ascendant. I will not let anyone dictate my choices in life any longer. That much is assured. And yet, all my life I was Arphazêl of the Aradunayim. That name does carry weight even now. If I willed it, I could decide to separate myself even further from my family, branching off into a house of my own. I have no master other than myself, after all. And yet I may yet discover that there is still something deep inside that wishes to keep the final link I have to my family, to my sisters alive. Now then, we are going to forge a new path, a new dawn, and you'll see that our camp name has changed to the Dawn Ascendant, which is an amazing name. Well done, Aryan. And that just creates a new house. Now I'm going to pause the recording here and go and change that up a bit, and I'll be right back. And only after about 5 minutes, I am back, and here we go. I had several ideas for possible names for the house. I was trying to find something in Adunaic that meant Dawn Star or Star of Dawn, and I had a few suggestions, including a possible translation, Urigimil or Sun Star, that was provided by another member of the team, or Arphazêl or Arazel, I don't remember which one it was, that I found online that meant Morning Star. But I didn't really feel like either of those worked properly. So we have Arphazelioni. Simply the heirs of Arphazêl. With the motto, the Rising Star of Hope, pardon me. And a coat of arms that I am actually quite proud of. It's mostly auto-generated, but I changed the colours and I changed some of the icons around. So I'm not very good at arty stuff. I like this. If you have any suggestions, feel free to make your own versions and send me links to them on the Discord, which will be linked in the comment section below. Without further ado, we are only a fraction of the way into the content that Arphazêl has. Aryan estimated that it would take about an hour to finish, and yeah, it takes a bit less than that if you're going through it full speed, but I'm making this an interesting one. So, let's keep going. This video and most of the others in this series will be about half-hour long, maybe 40 minutes if I'm feeling generous. The roads we walk with some followers. Now, because I have gained 200 men-at-arms, I feel that it is completely fair that I would be able to have a couple of slightly higher ranking helpers. Maybe they helped me escape from my horrendous family on the Isle of Anaxion. So we have Sakaltor. He's not very good and definitely wouldn't help somebody escape. And nope, Azruhil wouldn't either. Balkazir, he probably would help somebody escape. And Zimrazor, possibly, but he'd be more motivated by money. And intellectuals, Imrafel or Avaloban. I don't really like any of these pairs of people. But because Balkazir might actually help somebody do something, and he's a decent fighter, I'm going to take him. And the other one comes with him, so, yeah. Second, Balkazir the Gentle? Yes. Personal physician? Yeah, they're both terrible. But they are very good at this. Caravan Master. Do I need one of those? It doesn't cost me anything, might as well. And let's take the story contact. To the north lies the great haven of Zimraloni, known to the scattered men of Gondor as Mirlond. The Lord of Mirlond has sent me a message inviting me into his residence to discuss a lucrative contract. The details are yet unclear, but in the message it was made clear that the outcome of this contract will affect the fate of the entire city. Travel to accept contract. I will also start building buildings in my camp. Let's go with... this is interesting. As an aside, This settler train building is unique to Realms in Exile, and it allows you to colonise the wastelands. This is mostly useful in Eriador, as there are a lot of wastelands there, but it could also be useful in Rovanion, in Dagolad, or in Usakan and parts of, I think it's Mag? Oh no, it's just Usakan and Tundurakan. There will be more wasteland in other regions when we expand the map eventually, but for now, this is what you get. Where was I? Barloni. Right. Camp buildings. Let's go with the baggage train. I feel like that would be a useful one. What buildings does it come with? Yeah, baggage train. And the Abrazanim Nordubawib, which is the King's Pillar. Not. I don't remember. It's something. It's the same name as a unit in Divide and Conquer, which is why that's there. A lord in crisis. As I arrive in the city of Zimraloni, I am quickly escorted into Belzegar's residence. He offers me a lavish choice of food and drink, inviting me to sit at his table so we may speak about the reason for my coming. Lady Arphazêl, he begins, his voice silken and respectful. I have heard of your plight and your daring escape from that dreadful island. Glad am I to see a songbird such as you set free at last. His eyes fixate mine as he gives me a slight nod. I have also heard of your talents. Much am I in need of them. Advise me, and I shall reward you handsomely, granting you protection within my walls for as long as you require it. At last, Belzegar falls silent, expecting an answer from me. Two options. We can move camp to Zimraloni and counsel the Lord, or we can end the story content. Obviously, we are going to take the counsel. The matter at hand. Hearing me accept his offer, Belzegar seems satisfied. Very good, Lady Arphazêl. Now, let us get on to the matter of which I require your counsel. He unfolds a large map of the city and the surrounding regions, showing the mouth of the River Harnan and the coastlines to the north and south of it. Mirlond is a melting pot of at least 3 distinct peoples. The Harondarim, sundered kingsmen of the folk of the South Kingdom, have dwelt here since the waxing days of Gondor. But it is the Harus that were here before them, and now, of course, there are the proud Umbarians, and all 3 folks now strive for the control of my city. Tell me, lady, who should I favour as the days darken and war looms on the horizon? And you have 3 options. The Harondarim are clearly the best choice to give the county the pleased peasants modifier, and yourself 200 gold. The only thing that changes here is the modifier to the county. If you pick the Harus, you gain Belzegar gains locals pacified for popular opinion, or the Umbarians are the true rulers of this land now, no stone unturned for control growth. All of these are pretty minor benefits, but I am always a Gondor fanboy, so the Harondarim are clearly the best choice, and we get a load of gold. An escort emissary contract. Yes, let's do that. Just to gain some more money, because you can never, ever have too much money. You can use them to make more men-at-arms, which I will hold off on. He is right, it would be wise to rest. Yeah. Reclaim artifact. What? Oh, right, he wants me to steal a dynasty banner. No. This is a new event, at least to me. I don't think I've seen it before. Gentle moving, the scent of Mineron, all in Ladrim's hillside pasture lands offer the traveller. This isn't part of the story content, just an event I haven't seen before. Escaped bull. Over here, you vile bull. Oh! No, that's risky. Maimed at 8% chance. Knowing my luck, we will become maimed if I click this button. So I'm just going to say... Oh no, okay. Better not to... Wait, hang on, Sim Resort. We have the best chance of dealing with it. Otherwise, one of our companions will become maimed, most likely. Oh, let's risk it. Oh, okay, we're good. Maybe my luck is changing. I quite like this. There have been a lot of so there have been several submissions for coat of arms for this house, Arphazêl's Cadet Dynasty, in the Realms in Exile Discord, and I thought they were amazing, but I was not able to download any of them, and I fancied making my own anyway. And it seems that this is a ooh, fire, get the buckets, evacuate the people. Isn't this an opportunity? We are never here. I don't need more gold right now. You can never have too much, but I don't need it. And this gives me a little opportunity while we're talking to... Ooh, a new story contract. To discuss the goals for the series. We're going to finish all of Arphazêl's story content, and then we'll see where we want to take it from there. Finishing the story content will probably take another episode, maybe 2 after this one, depending on how quickly we go through it. Speaking of which, we have our second mission. Aid Harfalas. Up along the coasts of Gondor lie many smaller ports that have changed hands often in the wars between Gondor and the Haradrim. One of them is Harfalas, currently ruled by a lord of the Harondarim. Upon hearing of my success in Mirlond, the Lord of Harfalas has requested my assistance in a delicate matter, inviting me to come visit as soon as I may. Let us go and see the Lord Linteron, of a very old family, the Kalionas. A spousal dilemma, oh dear. Soon enough, I find myself in the private chambers of High Lord Linteron of Harfalas. Only one trusted servant stands at his side, signifying the importance of this private matter. This is about my wife, Boromir, he explains. She has been seeing other men. More than once. And though I love her dearly, I do not know what should be done about the whole situation. How would she fare were her secret to be exposed? But there must be consequences? Oh dear, oh dear. A little bit of the old unfaithful wife, a classic Crusader Kings issue. She has dishonoured you, my lord. Imprisonment is only just. And he imprisons her, and we gain 200 gold. But he gains stress. Or it is important to show clemency as a ruler. He loses stress, loses prestige, and we gain 200 gold. Now, generally, I tend to go for the nice option, so let's just be nice. Ooh. I have played through all of this before, but this event I like a lot. Daggers in the daylight. Just as I make my way towards the gates of Harfalas, intending to leave town after completing my contract, I hear a commotion in the alley up ahead. I see a young woman about to be attacked by a threatening figure who raises a dagger. As I take a few quick steps closer, I see the lady's guards incapacitated on the ground. She is attempting to fight off her attacker, but has received a cut across her forearm already. If I wish to intervene, the time is now. Ugh, Cult of the Lidless Eye. Sauron's agents. A quick stab at the assailants should do the trick, or lock yourself out of further content. A swan far from home. The would-be assassin falls to the ground, momentarily stunned by my blow to the back of the head. The guards recover, dragging the assailant away as the young woman turns to me. "By the king, you saved my life!" she exclaims. Before I can react, I find myself embraced in a tight hug. It takes a second before the stranger backs away, an apologetic smile on her fair lips. "Forgive me, lady, and pray let me say my name. I am Firion, at the service of yourself and your family, here on a diplomatic mission of great import. But you must tell me your name. I am in your debt from this day to my last." I tell her that I am Arphazêl, currently a guest of the Lord of Mirlond. Firion nods eagerly before she turns to leave. "I will write to you soon, Lady Arphazêl, and I will not forget your kindness." As she turns the next corner, I wonder if this was as fateful an encounter as it would appear to be. This woman that we have just saved is the granddaughter of the Prince of Dol Amroth, and one of the several children of the Lord of Linhir, Herion of the House Durtheron. But it is time for us to not worry about that and return to Mirlond to get some rest. We now have a hook on her as well. Faithful visitor. Yes, join us. You're very, very good, and you'd make an amazing court physician. Thorongil the Heathen. Why are you the Heathen? You're in Erelitale lands, are you not? Yeah. How does that make you the Heathen? Oh well. Let's just do that. Yeah. You can do a lot of contracts with this, but I find myself wanting to just wait and get on with the story a little bit more. Maybe we'll go and do an Instructor of Knights quest, which I'm sure we will probably fail, because Arphazêl is not particularly militarily minded, but that's okay. We don't need the money, and prestige is only a little bonus at this point. Balkazir could do 45%, 40%, let's see. Oh, we actually got one. 50% or 53%. But we still succeeded the contract because we managed to teach one of them about swordplay, which really means that he must have been an absolutely terrible swordsman, because we aren't particularly good. I mean, 13 is good, but most of that is buffs from things outside of our control. Like Primacy of Ulmo gives us +1, Bellicose, as because of the Black Numenorian tradition, has Bellicose, gives us another +2. Yeah, we can afford to spend the night in an inn. Seems like it is time to leave, because I do not fancy betting on a random street fight. I've played through all of Arphazêl's content before, and I have to say I love the quality of the event writing done by Arian and possibly a couple of other contributors. In Realms in Exile, there is a lot of fantastic localization for events. The absolute best, in my opinion, is the man who has absolutely no content, Maglor. Play through him, some of those events are incredible and would not feel out of place in Lord of the Rings, the book itself. I may one day play through Maglor on this channel and show you myself, but until then, you would have to do and look through it yourselves. A summons to Linhir. A letter arrives in my camp, sent by Lady Firion of Linhir, whose life I saved during my stay at the city of Harfalas. She invites me to visit her father's court in order to properly thank me for the rescue, and to discuss new opportunities for me in Gondor. Travel to accept contract. And along the way, obviously, we are going to stop off in a couple of places with unique buildings. Yeah, just those two will be okay. Let's go. I think one of the videos I'm going to put out very soon is going to be a list of characters that I personally recommend. Some will have a lot of content, some will not have a lot of content, some will just be very cool characters. They'll be across both the War of the Ring and Long Winter start dates, and I'm going to completely avoid any bookmark characters, because those ones are all characters that are worth playing. Acquire ancient treasures, yeah, because that gives us a bit more prestige, which can only help. Yeah, I'm not going to lose prestige for that. We'll just wait 5 days. Considering it's gold or stress, I'll take the gold. And we're nearly there. Okay, a crazy man is talking about some things. Wolf struggle. Help him, Thorongil. This man deserves my help, or I won't risk my life for this. Nope. I will not desecrate the dead. No, 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 no. Lose 200 provisions, yeah. I noticed as I clicked that there was an option that was 2% to just straight up die. That would have been an embarrassing end to Arphazêl. Lynn here, City of Opportunity. We've got a scroll bar. We try to avoid those generally. As soon as I arrive at the port of Lynn here, Firion takes me to see her father, Lord Herion of Dor en Ernil. He thanks me for saving his daughter, offering me a chance to stay in his city for as long as I want. Much need have we in Gondor for those we can trust, for the power of the enemy grows ever stronger. You are forever an honoured guest in the House of Durtharon, Lady Arphazêl, to whatever end. But Firion draws me to the side, concerned and pensive. In Gondor, a name in your tongue is seldom heard of. It may attract unsavoury attention, and may be worse. I suggest a change in identity, says Firion. Even here in Gondor we have heard of an Umbarian Sea Lord offering a large reward for the capture of his wayward daughter, and there are folk in Gondor who would take that opportunity. To that end, you should start anew in this land, with my help. Though the shadow grows ever darker, Gondor and Belfalas especially are still havens of freedom and opportunity. You can be safe here. But I have been Arphazêl my whole life, and leaving my identity behind is not a step to be taken lightly. Do I agree to the suggestion of these Gondorians and become one of them? And I don't believe that this ends your story content at all, but you can adapt and become Belfalathrym, or you can stay who you are and return to Mirlond. I am going to become Belfalathrym. After speaking with her father, Firion takes me on a short walk through Linhir's ruling residence. As we stop at a window overlooking the sizable port of the town, she looks at me. I also suggest you change your name, Arphazêl. Names in the speech of Gondor of old are not entirely unheard of in Gondor these days, and Belfalas especially, but they are still rare enough to stand out. I know that this is not an easy decision, but would you consider some of the names I've written down here for you? She hands me a parchment listing a number of names. I read them quickly and decide. And here you can choose a bunch of names to change your own. A direct translation of Arphazêl into Sindarin would be Aranel. A more elegant version, Amarian. Here in this land I can rest. Lorniel, which I believe means sleep maiden. Like a shining star escaped from the shadow, Gilwen. I'm not sure what that translates as. And the name of a great woman, Melose. I don't know what that means either. And we're just going to remain Arphazêl. This doesn't lock us out from any content, and considering I've already named the house Arphazelione, we're going to do that. It also gives us a free domicile building, which is very nice. I think I will do one more of the quests today, and I will also do a Passage of Arms, because it's right here, and we might as well. To the bridge! Auto invite agents. We don't have very many, but we can still finish it up. You do the least, so I'm going to remove you briefly. You can make it a little bit faster. I'd rather it were completed faster for a potentially lower reward. Ooh, who are you? Isilwen Gilthol. Huh! I know this character. Yes, join me. Amazing. Equally amazing. No, I will not join your wars. I don't want to join your war at all. It doesn't track with Arphazêl. She's escaping conflict, not joining it. And somebody has been very naughty. I'm going to need to find out who did that, because they shouldn't have. For those of you who don't know, the Gilthol dynasty is my vanity dynasty. I had set a custom coat of arms and somebody has gone and changed it. Tut, tut, tut. I don't actually mind, but I will absolutely get them to change it back. Regal ambitions, I'm glad to be free of that life. I'm glad to be free of that life. A betrayal. Okay. I'm not entirely sure what the betrayal was there, but oh well. Oh, we failed. It's a good thing that we're moving on now then. Oh, we're going to Abarloni again. Across the mouths of the River Harnan lies the walled harbour of Abarloni. A missive reaches me sent by the local lord requesting my assistance. The matter at hand is kept vague, likely due to concerns of the message being intercepted. And let us go. I will speed up at the... let's investigate. Ooh! Okay. Yes, you can make amends. Very nice. I'm not going to equip this. I will sell it at the first opportunity. Isilben Swan Neck. Okay. The Walled Haven. As I approach the city of Abarloni, a smile appears on my lips. It was here that I finally stopped running and looking over my shoulder after winning my freedom. I return now with the local lord's summons in my hand, and the gate wardens let me pass. Near Ramlon's markets, I meet with Arphazêl, my contractor. I have heard many good things about you, he greets me. Have you heard of the vast catacombs that lie beneath the city? There are many treasures to be found down there, but my interest lies only with one. A scroll dating back to the Second Age, when both Ramlond and Mirlond were ruled by the same dynasty. If this scroll could be found... ... He smiles, leaving the rest to my imagination. And you can search the catacombs, or you can reject him on the grounds that the Lord of Mirlond is your benefactor. I have no particular loyalty to Belzegar of Mirlond, so let's find him that scroll. Into the catacombs. Soon enough, I find myself deep underground, lantern in hand. The air is heavy in this place, and my boots kick up layers upon layers of dust with each step. Here, countless lords and ladies have been laid to rest over millennia. I feel uneasy, but push onwards. After what felt like an eternity, I finally stumble upon a dark chamber filled with dusty records and torn scrolls aplenty. I set down the lantern on one of the broken stone tables in the centre of the room and begin to comb through what's left of the old documents. Let's see, do we get another payout? We do! I have so much gold. An encounter in the gardens. Making my way through the streets of Abarloni, I pass through a small garden near one of the city's gates. Near the garden's exit, I am approached by a young girl. "Would you spare a coin for the hungry?" she asks timidly. I look at the child. It is obvious that she lives on the streets, but for some reason she gives me a different impression than most other common street urchins. That would be because she is both beautiful and blood of Numenor. And we can say, out of my way to lose stress. We can give up some gold for piety. Or she can join us. Obviously, Tamrafel is going to join us. And she will become Balthalathrim and Almonduri. Oh, did that also upgrade our... Oh, that also upgraded our pavilion. We'll raise makeshift sails. And when we return to Lynn here, that will be where I leave the episode. The first episode of this campaign. Of this series, where we will finish Arphazêl's story content, and then we will see where her ambition takes her. Perhaps she will decide to return to Anaxion and clean out the filth of the Aganalumaba Aru. Perhaps she will choose something completely different. But that is a matter for next time after I sell this very, very bad artifact. That is a matter for next time. I have been Sol, and this has been Realms in Exile. Have a good one. Editing Sol here. Just wanted to update regarding the Dynasty, my Vanity Dynasty coat of arms. I am a fool. The issue is already fixed on the dev build, and nobody changed it. I just thought they had, because I must have typed something wrong and it got fixed. Yeah. So apologies to the Realms team if you're watching this. I have already apologised, but just wanted to correct the record here in the public eye. Sol out.